I'm walking on the beach here, and I noticed like this really cool rock right here, and it reminded me of a metaphor for creating passion. So yeah, these rocks. Ooh. I get asked every once in a while. I work with a lot of people who already know their passion, but I work with a lot of people. I work with people occasionally who are trying to figure that out. And one of the questions that you often get is, how do you find your passion? And I think that's the problem is inherent in the question is, I believe passion is created, not found. Sometimes it's discovered, and sometimes you just know it from the beginning, but a lot of the times I think it's created. So when I was walking, there were the rocks all over the beach, and the first rock that I spotted was this like cool, like weird polka dotted rock, and I was like, oh, that's a cool rock. It was like really round, it fit nice in my hand, so I picked it up, and I was like just kind of like observing the rock, and then chucked it, and then I looked down, and the next thing I did was found this green rock that's a little smoother. And I was like, oh, maybe what I like is color. You know, I thought I liked the specks on the first rock, but I actually really like color as well. So then I was looking down and I found this red rock, and I was like, oh yeah, so it's smooth, it's colorful, it's like really cool looking. And I was starting to really get a handle on which rocks I liked. And now imagine if I just kept doing this. I kept collecting rocks and tossing out little by little the ones that I didn't like. So now I don't like speckled rocks anymore. I found this really cool like seashell looking thing, which actually isn't really a rock at all, but now I'm really intrigued by shells, and I like the shininess of it, and I like how it's like forming something almost more solid. And so imagine that I keep doing this over and over and over and over. Everywhere I go, I'm looking now for different rocks. I'm looking for different textures. I'm looking for different shapes. Maybe one day I pick something up that's got these really jagged edges, and it's like clear and kind of like crystallized, and I realize, hey, it's actually not rocks at all that I like, it's crystals. And so now I start collecting crystals, and you see where this is going. I'm getting more specific, and I'm getting more refined, and I'm starting to toss out, you know, the little rocks at the beginning that I thought I liked, but now I realize that I'm a gem collector, and before you know it, now I have a passion for diamonds. But it started because I looked down and I picked up this little speckled rock, and it caught my attention, and I paid attention to what I liked about it. I paid attention to what part of the rock caught my eye, and I didn't know that until I picked it up. And actually I didn't really know that until I picked up a second and third and fourth rock, and I was able to contrast what I liked and what I didn't, what attracted me to it and what bored me. And this is so much about how you create passion in life as well. If you're just kind of sitting waiting or doing a lot of introspection to try to figure it out, it might take you a lifetime. You might never figure it out. I believe that passion is created through action, through trying, through testing, trial and error, experimenting. You know, if you were a scientist trying to discover passion, you'd try all kinds of different things. You'd take notes about what worked and what didn't. You'd head down a path that inspired you, and that path would correct your action, and you'd find some other things to do that would change what you originally thought. And as you start doing this, as you start acting, you get more and more and more insight into what you like and what you don't. And what you like and what you don't creates more action. Then you take that action, and that creates insight. And it's a cycle of insight and action and trial and error, and noticing what you like and throwing out what you don't. That by the time you finish, maybe the thing you're done with had nothing to do with what you started with, but you never would have gotten there if you didn't take the first step. So if you're struggling to find your passion, I encourage you to instead create it. There's one step, it's in there, the next step, and it's the only one you need. Just take it, take that little action, and then pause and reflect. What worked, what didn't, what do you like, what do you not, and then take the next step based on that. But you're not gonna know the next step until you take the first one. It's like a GPS in your car. First it wants to know where you are. Where are you now? And then I'll give you, and where do you want to go? What head of direction? But a GPS doesn't give you all the steps unless you cheat and pull down the map. It only gives you the next one. And it won't give you the one after that until you take the turn that it told you to. So that's what creating a passion is like. It's taking one step, picking up one rock, deciding if you like color or speckles or smoothness or shape, and then picking up the next rock that matches the thing before it. So I want to know, what is your next step? If you close your eyes and you sit in that silence, you're gonna know there's one thing that's calling you. It doesn't have to be the thing, it doesn't have to be the biggest thing. It's just the next thing. Sit with that for a couple seconds and then share with me below what that thing is. And if you're really, really, really stuck and you just don't know, then just reach out and let's have a conversation about picking up that first rock.